Thanks, equipped autoloaders. Plenty here available to both these teams. Kazna crew versus eSuba. Kazna on the defense, eSuba on the attack.
We can see here eSuba is choosing to play rather aggressive, sending 6 mediums up to the main center of the map, and they have only one spotter on 1-2 line. Kazna also playing rather standard, I would say. T49 spotting down, covered by TVP. 2 butchers climbing the 3 line, 2 butchers climbing the 4 line, but immediately they're able to join them. And as they see no one, they're going for more defensive positions. Now Kazna is again using that position on E4 that I consider highly dangerous. Nexus is on it.
And Nexus here trying to play against Combat, but Combat should be pretty safe right now. Some shots coming towards Nexus, no connections so far. He has to be careful here because we have seen what happens to players that overextend in these positions. Deja comes to mind, and yeah, that is going to be interesting. Frola already around the backside, managing to connect 1 onto Haiba, 2 onto Haiba, so good stuff there from him. That nice play from Foley, very aggressive around the mountain, and Haiba is actually getting catched out. He did not expect this. The first time from Kazna crew about to go down here. Haiba trying to escape. There is none for him as Foley picks him up, and what a massive advantage for eSuba.
This is a massive mishap actually here, because Haiba climbing there, not being covered by his teammates against such a fast lineup that eSuba has. They should have covered this better. This was a really big gap in their defense, and it costing them dearly now. They're tanked down for free.
Let's just say it's not like eSuba reinvented the wheel. This is a play we've seen multiple times, and there was nobody for Haiba to rely on to cover him, and you could see how desperate he was to try and get out of there.
Yeah, there is nothing here to do now except just to rethink how to cover with the remainder of the tanks here. Kazna now has 6 people. One of them is Isne in his T49, and we can say that tank is kind of a poker tank because you can maybe do a high roll, or that tank can just die and do nothing in the entire game.
Diplomat here on this very up position, trying to see if he can make some shots, but so far there will be nothing for him to connect upon. Piotr getting spotted out. Should be safe in that position as well. And eSuba have the time now to make a to collect IDs, make a strong decision, and close this game out. Because with 1 extra bad chat and the double tier 9, which, like you said, if the T49 does not perform, does give them 2 extra autoloaders over Kazna crew.
This is very important, and look at this. eSuba is actually really well positioned at the moment, defensively, highly defensive. But they're all covering each other well in case Kazna actually makes attempt of some counter-attack to try to punish them for Haiba. We can, of course, see as spectators on a map that is not going to happen. But eSuba is ready for that. Now, this is a moment where we said multiple times eSuba takes time to make decisions, and they're not really doing it in light speed. But after that, they usually make correct choices how to break the enemy.
Indeed, they're a very well collected team, and Mojo, it seems like 9-0 is starting to be a little bit of the approach they're going for. Chukech is going there as well, and Durs can't stay there too long proxying, because obviously eSuba has better ways upon the hill than they do.
Yeah, but at the moment eSuba has only combat there, so Durs is rather safe. I mean, there is no one who can really snipe him from another angle because they control the low ground. The thing is, if eSuba pushes aggressively, Nexus and Diplomat might be the one in trouble.
There's actually got a shot there from Combat. Player you highlighted, 370 taken away. And it's just an extra addition on top of the HP lost already.
Yeah, eSuba really playing kind of, we can say, really hard tactical game. Games like this are not really the best to look at it in some moments, but they are really correct in player ways. Look at this. Froly is climbing now from the back way. He will join combat, so they will definitely have advantage on that hill. They will definitely have an advantage, and that's the sign that soon they will push from the lower line also.
Froly here, getting a little bit of an elevated position as well. Now Jukets and Andrew starting to push up throughout the 9-0. How aggressive are they going to go?
Oh, they must go aggressive on Nexus all the way, and they should be covered by everyone. Diplomat will be probably the first focus target there, because they will pre-aim that position. And here we go. This is a push coming in.
Juket's already taking a lot of damage here. Diplomat actually goes down. He got spotted. He goes down. Nexus Picks up Jukas in return though, but now the fight coming onto the hill. Andrew's pushing Nexus. In the meantime, Durs is getting pushed by Combat, and Froly, Durs just backs around the corner safely. And meantime, more damage being taken along the side the eSuba lineup, but it doesn't really matter as eSuba have plenty of HP to throw at Kazna.
eSuba 2.5k advantage here, also one pure tank, two tanks advantage here because they lost only Ukets. Kazna is pretty much on brink of defeat in this first game, and it will take quite a miracle to come back from this one.
Gonna need more than a miracle. I think Mojo Combat here just locking down Durs, and now eSuba is probably gonna rotate, make another move. Nice shot there from Stefan on towards Tomaszek in that tier 9 batch chat, but they're gonna need a lot more than just one shot.
We go again. Tomaszek and Pratelicek in their tier 9 budgets are rotating. They will try to press toward the Stefan and Piotr to make them fall down. Once they control that area, Durs will pretty much be dead as a dodo, man. For those who don't know, that's quite extinct bird.
Yes, indeed. Overus takes some damage in the background as well. Takes actually more in that batch. He could go down here in the middle. He's down towards the one shot. No engine, no driver. And Kazna crew is evening out the HP here.
What a throw of HP here on eSuba's side. Overus, that was quite a misplay there. I don't understand why they didn't push together with like 3 tanks from that side. But Durs is in a problem. It does look like Combat will take him as he does. And that leaves only 3 Kazna players in the play.
3 Kazna players in the game are left here, but Andrew has started the cap. 1 minute and 22 seconds left on that one. Now Isna comes up and he removes Pratelicek. That tier 9 bad shot didn't stand a chance against the T49 as Stefan is going to try and make another shot here, but Froly gets the better of him together with Combat. Nice covering fire there coming from that hill area as Andrew still has the cap. Piotr is now forced to make a move as well as Isna just about reloaded. Peeks around the corner. Piotr actually goes down very, very quickly. Isna might get Tomaszek. No connection there from the T49. And that should be all she wrote for Kazna crew in this first round on Cliff as eSuba is going to take the first round.
It does look like that. Stefan and Isne are spotted out positioned and on low HP. It's rather easy for eSuba to cover it, but at the moment Combat doesn't have a reload, so that might be a problem. Tomaszek just managed to take out Isne, pay that with his head, but there we go.
Froly to claim the scalp of Stefan, and that's it. eSuba pick up the first round, and mistakes were made from Kazna crew, but good plays from eSuba coming around that hill area. Well, Froly, the man we highlighted in the beginning as well, coming around, cleanly picking up Haiba, and after that, Kazna crew didn't really seem to have a response for eSuba.
It was quite surprising that Kazna actually left such a gap in their defense. eSuba used it really well. You cannot say that it predicted it because that was impossible. That was just the play and something given from the Kazna on the start. But eSuba after that made all the correct decisions. Yes, there was maybe 1 or 2 misplays on the way, and certainly that shot by Isne kind of almost evened the game there. But still, eSuba recovered even from that and managed to get the game for themselves.
Well, recovered, big words. I mean, they always had the autoloader advantage. They always had.
Yeah, but they lost Overus there, and
yep,
the HP was pretty much
the HP
equal.
was even, but the gun in the game is a big factor as well.
And
which
positions.
They had the cap, they had the hill, and then Combat got Durs as well, who was on reload. So they did all the right things after they lost Overus. And that was good by eSuba. I mean, now coming on to the defensive side on Cliff, where we have seen them pull back rounds, which seemed lost, like against Oops. And Mojo, statistics coming up in a second here. Froly doing massive amount of work for his team.
Amazing damage here from Froly, 3.7k, followed closely by Stefan in that backline sniping with almost 3.5. Everyone else is a bit down there. Combat playing from the top of the hill, as we saw him, 2.7k, rather nice, and 2 kills also there.
Yeah, very well done. Even Tomaszek with the tier 9 batch at 1.6 is pretty indeed. And then you can see Haiba, Diplomat, Isna, Piotr, just not enough from all these tanks. I mean, the fact that Isna did more than Haiba and Diplomat is a big thing. And Diplomat, he was on that A7 position. He got spotted, and you could see eSuba were ready for that one. He just died within seconds.
Diplomat just felt like he was never there on a map. We already said when they were doing rotation that he will be the focus by Froly and Combat both from the top of the hill. There's a normal snipe position where Diplomat was to cover the people on the hill and down. And that's the first thing to aim and take out. he just vanished. It was really brutal crossfire because I think he was shot even from below the hill.
You think Kazna possibly should have done something else? Because I mean after Haiba died, because after Haiba died, they were kind of just trying to continue the strategy they had laid out in the beginning of the game, but it didn't seem to work.
Well, I don't know really what could have they done differently, because this is the problem actually. By watching from eSuba perspective, we could see that they were covering the map rather well. And if Kazna did a counter-attack, it would end miserably. I'm 100% sure of that. So, no, I think Kazna made the right choice and they hoped they will just outshoot them and that eSuba will make a mistake and maybe return the tank for free to them, which almost happened in one moment.
Almost happened, but it didn't, and we are ready to get into the second round here, so let's take a look at the tanks presented to us by both these teams. Kazna crew going with the artillery piece. eSuba is not playing with that single-shot medium, Mojo.
Well, eSuba is playing identical lineup as Kazna did in defense. I would say that's like fashionable lineup for a long time, taking those tanks. Kazna playing with something that's played from this season, with 1 tier 8 RT and 6 Bachats here. Usually just leave RT and go with Bachats and play.
Yeah, possibly leaving the RT by himself. It's going to be Diplomat on that one. We're going to have to see what he can do for his team on the second round. So let's get into it and see what's going to happen between Kazna crew and eSuba, where eSuba is currently up 1-0, and they're going to be defending while Kazna crew try to break their defense.
So we see maybe a slightly different start from Kazna. They're staying in a base while 5 mediums are going up here, but eSuba are playing something more focused toward the 3 line.
Yeah,
a lot of them there.
3 boosting, 4th coming in there from Protelicek. We're going to have to see if they all made it, and it seems so far so good for most of them. Piotr is going to be taking the hill area here, and there you can see Combat, Froli, Jukat, Protelicek all making the climb. Very nice stuff there. We have seen teams struggle with that. No problems for eSuba though.
Aggressive start here immediately. They do want to see where Kazna is. Maybe again catch someone off guard, especially since they do play with that artillery piece. Piotr, Vetso and Nexus are there below the hill. I believe some of them should start climbing very shortly. Question is, can Kazna even spot them? I mean, can eSuba even spot them?
You can see Diplomat here just trying to look around. He's looking, if you're wondering what he's doing here, he's quickly checking the map for broken fences and such. Obviously, from our TV, you can see that. Meantime, Haiba takes a connection there, 404.
There is he spotted next to Diplomat just now.
Info here gained for eSuba. Jukat's overextending just a little bit though. 787 taken on him. Got spotted out in a bad spot. Paid the price as well.
Yeah, Jukats has to play much more careful. I think he's here more or less RT safe, but still, those 2 shots he received might cost them on the long run.
On the long run, perhaps. Perhaps. Haiba still playing this position here, just trying to monitor. We've seen the dead zone from Oops playing this position almost every time they played Cliff almost as well.
Yes, we've seen actually a lot of teams lately playing this position. First time it was used by Ders, by Dead Zone, but Ders spotted, shot by Tomaszek, lost the driver, and he probably doesn't have a medic.
Nope, that bad shot that bad shot consumable is usually fire extinguisher, big repair kit, and rations for most people.
Yesterday I had the pleasure playing some 30-90 men and I lost a driver and an engine. It was super fun.
It was probably very fun. I think Froli's trying to make the climb on the 8th line in the meantime to get some more presence on towards that hill area. Andrew has to be careful here. Just dodged an RT shell from Diplomat who is in reload. There you can see Froli climbing the hill.
Oh, we've seen how can that end up in some of the games. I think, was it Froli who was one shot by Insane on this very
Froli.
position? Look at him now, man. Oh, I'm spotted.
Obviously, artillery does have a connection there towards Froli, but not at this moment in time. And there we can see the reticle from Diplomat currently aimed towards Andrew in his bad shot. And he's going to have to play safely. Diplomat, if he fired right now, probably get a direct hit onto this bad shot. Jukac taking even more damage, down to 600 now. Not good stuff from that tier 10.
No, he's now at this moment of the game, he's a liability for his team. Because if Kazna chooses they may press a position that is held out by him, and he's just a two-shot at the moment. But interesting for me is I don't think we've actually seen Diplomat play artillery in this season yet.
No, it was mainly Uzne
Isn't it?
playing that one. Durs gets spotted out again. He's going to try and make the climb on the side there towards Stefan. Perhaps he should be fine. But at least now they know that that bad shot that is close to RD is gone. And what is Kazna's crew's final move here going to be, Mojo?
Well, they're going to try to leech out as much HP they can before they gather the tanks and push. Obviously, they do have some HP advantage in that regard, not on the screen, but having an artillery and the eSuba being all tank lineup. Yes, they actually do. The only problem at the moment for them is Durs having the driver, but you can always... I mean, Durs was always a better sniper, honestly, so that's not such a problem in this game. So Diplomat has, I would say, 2 more minutes to work. Maybe do some damage. Maybe if he's lucky, even one-shoot someone. That's completely RNG's related, and we cannot know will it happen or not. But if someone can do it, it's Diplomat for sure.
Diplomat, lets off shot, no connection on towards Andrew. We can see Froley in the meantime, and Piotr. Piotr actually getting spotted out, takes 2 shots, gets tracked, needs to use his repair kit, a bounce coming off of the armor even. He'll just about be safe, but 652 and minus the repair kit, not the best trade he could have made.
Mighty budget armor proven again, but still he is returning some of the HP that UCAT traded himself. Still, there is 5 minutes to go, that's half of the game, and Haiba has to lose a position now.
Haiba took another one as well, down to 983. He's forced to back off, he's forced to be careful as well, and now the HP across the board lost by Kazna crew is significantly more than what eSuba has lost. It's all onto Juket. If they can keep him safe, it's going to be in their advantage.
Yes, if UCAT stays back and just cover snipes his teammates, and you can see on the mini-map, he is exactly doing that. He's playing the position that was previously played by Stefan, who was top damage dealer for Kazna in the last game. So UCAT is there. Andrew is taking some damage there, losing Commander, but Haiba again, some more.
And Andrew actually had a medkit available, so he'll heal that Commander quite quickly. Haiba here down to 528, and Froley, I think, should be able to spot out this entire push coming out from Kazna crew. And if they can play it well, I don't think Kazna crew will find an opening in this round.
Kazna is gathering up. It does look like it will be a push pretty much similar to what eSuba did over the outer ridge line with 1 or 2 players on the hill. So they will probably have to wait to see can Stefan maybe climb, or he will just play. Yeah, Stefan is climbing up to join Piotr. You do need more than 1 tech up of the hill. When he does that, Kazna will push. And Haiba, as a guy with the lowest amount of HP, he will stay back.
He has to stay back. He's 2 shots for anybody on this lineup for eSuba. Stefan will now be on the hill. And this should be the signal here for the Kazna crew push to commence. We'll have to see how Froley will receive this one, Mojo.
Yeah, Haiba will probably just wait for a light tank to try to kill Diplomat, to snipe him. We've seen Koriz die in a last game like that, but push is coming in, so let's see how will they fare in this moment.
And we can see Nexus, Vetso, Durs starting to close up onto the position that Froley is holding. We're going to have to see how much damage they will take for this one. Vetso gets spotted out as first, and they are trying to find an angle, but Froley is already long gone. They were trying to counter that position perhaps from him, but they don't know. He's in the bushes back at the rock. They seem very unaware. They seem to be looking towards Andrew now, but with 2 minutes 40 seconds left, they need to do something, Mojo.
They're trying to line up Andrew maybe so Diplomat can kill him with RT. So then they could proceed and press with all the tanks they have. But even if Andrew is out of equation, there is so many of other tanks there, and Andrew is not even spotted. This is a really big flaw in Kazna play at the moment.
Andrew is indeed unspotted. Nexus spots off Froley. Diplomat actually gets connected blindly. Just about surviving on 40 HP. Andrew now takes a shot in return, but it gives 2 to Nexus, so a good trade there. Diplomat very lucky to even survive this one.
But that means the Diplomat had to move, and he's not aiming anymore. So he will need time to re-aim, and Andrew might even fade by then.
Diplomat is on reload though, so he might have fired, and this is not good for Kazna crew. It really isn't. He's aiming towards Froley, but he still has about 15 seconds left on that M40 reload. Actually, yeah, should be 15 seconds just about.
Look at this.
Tomasek coming in for him. Diplomat, will he get off the shot before he goes down, or will he try to shotgun Tomasek? Diplomat is aiming.
I don't think he even knows Tomasek is there.
Spotted. Diplomat is spotted now. He's going to fire on towards Froly before he goes down. He actually does not connect the shot. So Tomasek with a big kill onto Diplomat. It doesn't matter if he dies at this point. He already did more than he had to. Now Nexus and Vetso are forced into a commitment. They're pushing towards Froly, but Vetso takes 2, takes 3. No, actually doesn't take 3. Nexus takes 1. More damage being done. Finally, Vetso goes down. Froly is taking the damage in return, though Nexus picks him up. But still, Kazna crew with 1 minute 15 seconds. It's not looking good.
1500 damage here, advantage for eSuba at the moment, and Hill, yes, Hill is held by Kazna, but still eSuba is strongly there in the game, and Andrew is still a guy that didn't take out. This is a crucial position that eSuba is holding, because they cannot really trigger a cap while he's alive. Haiba is coming from the back, but I think he's still in a reload because he had to empty entire clip on Tomasek.
Andrew here lining up the shots against Durs, already missing 2, gets pushed from above now. Stefan is the one to claim him, but Overus is now spotted as well in the TVP. He's taking a bunch of damage. Durs in return is trading for that, though Overus should just about get safe. He's trying to hug that rock as closely as he can. Cap has started now for Kazna crew. They need to get in there. They need to put 3 tanks in the cap right now. Stefan needs to hold everybody else off, and I don't think this is going to work.
Overus will peek in some moment here whenever he chooses so, and he will kill Durs. And then we will see are the available tanks from eSuba coming in.
No time. It's over. It's done. Is it? It should be. No? 19 seconds. There's 12 left. Yeah, they have no time.
No
it's
time.
over. It's over. eSuba won the round. All they have to do is to survive. They realize this as well. With 6 seconds left, eSuba is going to pick up the second round here. Stefan coming in to try and do something. He gets picked up. And that's it. eSuba 2-0 over Kazna crew.
Well, lucky me that no one asked me to predict this match beforehand.
Well, this is a very interesting start. I mean, eSuba, what's going on?
eSuba is on fire, man. Like, really, this is a great start for eSuba here. I must just congratulate on really patient games and kind of limited amount of mistakes, because they made so little number of mistakes that Kazna was actually forced to do moves that they otherwise wouldn't. And that pretty much brought in the victory. Cliff was super rush map before, but now it's very tactical, and every player must mind his positioning all the time if the team wants to win. You can see how the HP can go away easily.
Yes, UCAT's lost a lot of HP in the beginning, which might a little bit unnecessary, but Haiba took some, Durs took some, and it just didn't work out for them yet. Damage here, not the greatest for anybody. Overus just about 2.3, but it's not damage that won them the round. It's the fact that Kazna crew did not have any answers to what eSuba was bringing to them. They had no reaction. They went very late even. They tried to make their play with like 3 minutes left. They finally moved in. And we talked about eSuba. They are a team that likes to go slow, that prefers a slow style from what we've seen. They like to work it, they like to work the time. Now Kazna crew is playing exactly into favor of eSuba, I'd say, because eSuba likes to play slow. Kazna crew is not bringing the heat to them. They're playing the same.
I would say they just didn't incorporate Arti at this game the best, because they couldn't align any shots. eSuba was really careful, unlike in last game where they played Cliff with Oops.
Yep.
They took some lessons there. I mean, you could see Froly's Spider-Man reactions there. As soon as the Sixth Sense triggers up, he's like all the way gone, man, half of the map away. Like, no one's gonna one-shot me again.
Yeah, good stuff there, but I don't know, man. I think Kazna need to bring it. We know they can play aggressive. We know they're a good aggressive team. I think in team play and shooting, they can possibly outplay eSuba. I don't think the slow method is going to be the way to break it. It doesn't seem like it.
Don't forget this thing. Like, we know that Kazna was super aggressive team, but Kazna all the time had Ilian there. Now they have a lot of new players. We do not know how they think now. It's a lot of new guys in the team compared to the last season. Like, in some of the matches, 2 to 3.
I understand, but it just kind of feels like they're playing into eSuba's hand. Like, it feels like eSuba likes this game style, and they're perfectly fine with trying to run out the clock, and they have no issue with it.
We know that, but also, like, honestly, Kazna should be more experienced team, even in the games like that. They should know how to outplay them on time. They should know how to outposition, but something is not working. And these 2 maps were all about eSuba. They completely outplayed them.
They completely outplayed them indeed, and let's see if in the third round they're going to do exactly the same thing. Let's take a look at the lineups and see what both these teams have brought onto Moravanka here. Kazna crew with their classic Object 430 version 2 pick.
This is something that Kazna likes to play a lot. I mean, in attack, Object 430 with a hard turret and good angling. It can be used easily for cover and for capping.
The eSuba lineup not that bad either. I like a lot of cooldown tanks available to them. I7, E5, Kranwagen, E5 Kranwagen, very good in those cooldowns.
We've seen them play something with this before, and we said the weakness of their defense is this 1390. How will that be positioned? Because Kazna is one of the best teams that, while hunting those spotters in the bushes.
If they can find him, we're going to have to find out if they can. Kazna crew versus eSuba. The comeback begins here for Kazna crew on Moravanka.
Moravanka, a map with a great number of buildings, bushes and trees, amongst which teams hide for most of the battle. The attacking team begins the battle from the top of the village, and the defenders start from the bottom of the map. Both bases are better controlled from the hill near the first base, and from the green in the lower left corner of the map. There are many attack directions. The attacking team often attempts to gain the attention of defenders by putting pressure on the first base, whilst manoeuvring several tanks behind the second base to deliver fire into the defending's flank. Team setups are very diverse, but the players often choose the fastest tanks, even for heavy setups. They could even bring SPGs.
So Kazna crew versus eSuba. Can you believe it? eSuba is 2-0 up currently over Kazna crew, who have to break the defense from eSuba.
Yeah, it's unbelievable start here for a team that is supposed to be one of the most, that is the longest living team in this league.
Is the most experienced.
So Kazna from the start just leaving E5 back on C4 position as an anchor. And one bachat. Everyone else is going down to hunt.
So Combat is doing something we've seen in older metas, Moja. The IS-7 is in the position where we've seen T-32s play, T-54s even, with that very low profile, or Object 416s. Now, we're going to have to see if they can stop anybody from coming up the tree line. Moja, for anybody that doesn't know, explain the weakness of where this IS-7 is positioned.
The problem is if you can see the defensive position of 3090 also, that's what I just was about to say. IS-7 can get shot in the engine part only and only below the hill from the tree line. The hill that is currently eSuba controlling, but if Kazna manages to pull them away and finds the 1390, kills it, this I-7 will be pretty much left on its own, and they will eventually snipe it down. They cannot snipe it down frontal, but from the sides as it's standing now, it can. In previous seasons, when it was a tier 8 position, it was used massively by T-54 lights or even Object 416. But of course, I-7 with a high resist turret and a low silhouette, this is the logical choice now.
You could see Combat is completely hulled down towards the K-line, gets spotted out now by Isna. He is completely hulled down towards the K-line. Right. But the weakness is the tree line. And I guess that's why they have the double heavy for. If anybody comes on that tree line, they will try to kill him. They will not let anybody try to shoot Combat in the side. Thomas' next position is meant to counter it. And I'm guessing Jukets and Froley are also going to go and block that off if needed.
The key thing is to keep actually Tomaszek alive in the 3090. Because if he falls, eSuba can start falling like dominoes there.
Another fun fact, the I-7 is playing with binoculars. Obviously, this gives him a lot of extra spotting towards that capture circle. It's a very, very important thing to keep in mind. Now, Kazna crew starting to rotate into the 1-2. Uzna trying to shoot H3 at the I-7. It's not going to work out much. And Mojo, I hear you want to bust out your crayons. Go ahead.
This is what we were talking about, guys. You can see a 1390 here. This is a critical position because he will spot some of the things here, what's going on all over the place. Now, this guy here solely depends on him spotting all those areas while he's keeping this area pretty much locked off for Kazna. Kazna cannot go there. That means Kazna cannot get shots on this guy from that angle. So, in any way for Kazna to break this, they need to find this 1390 position tanks here, get shot for free on I-7, and that way they can pretty much easily win the game. But without that, Kazna cannot really penetrate them that easily.
Thanks for busting out your crayons there, Mojo. Combat takes a shot 443 by Piotr, and this needs to be the reaction here. They need to find a way to take down the C5 because Combat, he's taking another one. 871 taken now. He's not in trouble just yet. He
Nice
is right
shot.
now. And they need to kill this E5.
Tomaszek is not well positioned, it appears, because he is completely ignoring this position. He cannot see it. Combat is in deep trouble here, and you can see by the reaction Froli. Froli is actually charging for it, and there is a counter-attack by eSuba.
Yeah, Froli is coming in here, and there comes the bat shot as well from Overus. A lot of damage taken here on towards Andrew. Andrew goes down already for this trade. Piotr, they will be losing him, but they need more than just a C5 at this point because they have lost a lot of HP. They're down a lot of health points. Diplomat takes a lot in return as well, but now Haiba is in trouble. But the tanks from eSuba, they're kind of in the open.
Tanks of eSuba are rather stuck there, and really several of them are in low HP here. Haiba is kind of surrounded by enemies here, but the number of the guns are on Kazna's side and the HP. I believe this is Kazna's round, unless they do something really, really bad. This should be maybe even their comeback map.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Combat is pushing forwards towards Isne in that Object 430 version 2. If he gets some help, he might be able even to 1v1 this Object 430 version 2. Haiba's getting pushed by Tomaszek. Tomaszek actually removes him, so that's the 1390, claiming a tier 9 tank for his favor. Isne is getting pushed towards the side. He doesn't have the angle. Combat picks it up. That's 2 tanks going down for Kazna crew in quick succession here, but Jukic in the meantime getting pushed on by Durs, goes down. So another tank claim for Kazna.
It looked nice for a moment for eSuba, but Kazna still had that advantage. Mind that these batchats were in reload. Diplomat, Nexus, Durs, and so on. Once they came out of it, that was again their play, because most of the tanks eSuba had in such regard were almost gone or in reload in a bad moment.
Durs on full HP, deciding that Cap is not going to be the play. He goes for Nexus, is actually taking some damage from Tomaszek, but Tomaszek, you did one shot too many. Nexus stays as he claims him. There's now spots up Pratelicek. He might be able to 1v1 him even. He should be able to. He's pushing forward. Pratelicek only have one shot available. You can see Durs here chasing him down. 408 left on towards Pratelicek. One more shot will do the job. As Durs is now continuing. There we go. Pratelicek goes down, now focusing his attention towards Froli. He has one more available. Diplomat actually picks it up, and Kazna crew merger, like you said, full control in this round.
You might have noticed some of the breakable houses that Durs just went over in the last moments. This is the big problem for eSuba and why their plan didn't work out. Those houses should have been broken by them on the start of the game. By shooting HE or what? Because that would give vision for the 1390. They actually made a blind angle and they didn't see an E5 shooting in Combat's engine all the time. And that pretty much forced all of this reaction here that happened now.
The question is though, would it make a difference? I mean, wouldn't make a difference because Piotr in that E5 long range versus an IS-7, he's still going to win it. I mean, the E5, the IS-7's not reliably going to hit him with that gun.
Still, he would have a fighting chance and they would have some more time to develop an action plan, like not desperate plan. Okay, we have to go down the hill now and take out E5. No, they would be able to maybe rotate the batchats to see what's going on, press the other side. And we don't know what would the battlefield look like then. But like this, they didn't even see him, and he's like, oh, I'm taking damage. Oh, I'm taking more damage. Wow, I'm almost dead.
There's some good shooting coming out there from Piotr. You can see he landing shot after shot after shot onto that IS-7, minus 1.2 very quickly. And then eSuba
3 out of 3 pens, that's really, really great.
eSuba forced into an overreaction. Kazna crew punishing really hard. And you can see Durs there doing a significant amount of damage. 3.8 on Murovanka. Well, that is not something we see that often.
Well, we haven't seen Durs play that often either, so that might be the hint. Durs 3.8 combat in his IS-7 that was pretty much in a worst position on the map, doing really astonishing damage there, 2.7k. Diplomat, that's like RNG less, 2.6. I mean, this is a close game, but look at this. Andrew got deleted when they pushed over the hill. 0 damage, 1 shot fired. He just died and vanished.
Yeah. Though both Pratelicek and Andrew and Froli really out in the open when they pushed over, getting punished for it. One thing to note though, I haven't seen Vetso play so far in this game, Mojo.
I'm rather sure he was playing the first on the cliff.
Was he playing the first?
I think he did.
Yeah, he played the first, but I don't think we've seen him after. Did we see him on cliff? Did we? Or am I just, yes, my brain failing? We didn't see him in the last round.
I don't think he was in last, but I think he was in first.
So it's just weird rotations here in the Kazna crew lineup.
Vetso said on interview they're going to experiment quite a lot, so we will see how will they do. I mean, the season is fairly long and there is quite a lot of time to decide what is the best lineup. Are they playing based on the maps or positions or whatever? It's online stage, so you can do whatever you want.
Still not seen Vala play that much, though. I mean,
Vale is the guy who played the least in this lineup
Yep.
so far, as I know. Is he Vale or Vale?
Wada.
Okay.
Wada. But yeah, you're right. Vetso played on Cliff, didn't play on Moravanka. But second round of Moravanka coming in. Let's see what it's going to bring us in the terms of tank choices by both these teams. Mojo, any surprises coming out here?
Wow, double Kranwagen in attack for eSuba. That's not something you see often, that's for sure. RU for... I mean, when you have an RU, you know one thing. He is going to do some fast spotting there. That's not anything positional. Kazna not even relying on any kind of lights. They have a tier 9 budget if needed for that. And Emil and Kranwagen also.
Emil and Kranwagen, yeah. Probably Vetso going to play the Emil. We've seen him play that a few times already. Did very well against the Mouse. I think it was, I'm not sure who brought it. Yeah, it was Utopia that brought it against Maraka and the Mouse. So he knows how to play that. Mojo, who do you think has a better lineup into this round?
I would say maybe Kazna a bit because they have no tier 8 here. And this lineup by eSuba is not really easiest to play from the lower cap.
Well, Mojo, let's find out as we move into the second round here on Moravanka. It is indeed Vetso playing at Emil. Kazna currently down 1-2 against eSuba, but they get to defend, and eSuba is going to have to break the defense this time.
Yes, the only thing that can really work super well for eSuba is an example that Kazna positions one of the budgets in some of the bushes, and eSuba finds a really great angle for RU to go full speed and try to proxy spot clear the bushes. They kill that budget, and then eSuba, yeah, we lost through, thank you, but we have the positional
That is
advantage.
an advantage, though, Mojo. You said no tier 8 here for Kazna Crew. There's Nexus getting spotted out in the meantime together with Piotr. Diplomat now as well. Andrew takes 1, takes 2, takes even 3 here from Stefan. Some great shooting coming out from that TVP by Stefan. A massive amount of damage on towards Andrew. Not going to be happy with that. But what I was saying, Mojo, like you said about that tier 8, it isn't an advantage of eSuba if they're going to need to suicide him, tactically suicide him to find a bacha from Kazna.
That's the only purpose I can really find for that RU, because otherwise if it goes to the shootout, I mean, he's always a liability. Compared to Kazna guys, also this opening of Andrew really didn't help their case. I mean, he wasted pretty much 950 HP. Nice shots there by Stefan, but he should have also done a more cautious spot. That means he went too deep and he was not able to recover from that.
Yeah, pretty much exactly like you said. There's now gets a connection, though a blind connection even from Andrew, I think it was. So nice there. Now Tomasek is moving in with the RU251 and he gets spotted out. He's going to keep going. No, he's going to stop there. So he doesn't find Haiba. Oh, they're so close to each other. Doesn't find him though.
It is a rather risky position though by Haiba there. It's so close to the road, man. I mean, if this RU came from a little bit of bushes in full speed, he would have a chance actually to proxy him. Risky play by Kazna there.
Overus now getting spotted out as well in the Object 140. He's going to go forward though.
Oh, Haiba will have to run soon.
Oh, has to be careful because Stefan is sniping there as well with the DVP, and Overus doesn't seem like he wants to make the play just yet. Piotr now grabbing a reload. Stefan starting to clip. Obviously that 140 not as easy to penetrate as the RU251.
Interesting here is that Overus is actually here only a bait, I would even say. He is playing against these positions here, but his entire team is on the other side. Even Tomaszek is leaving him. So in the case that Kazna actually, I mean, eSuba pushes from the other side, Haiba, all he needs to do is just leap over and kill him, because one-on-one Object cannot survive a budget.
No. That is true. Overus now getting connected as well. He'll go down towards Haiba for sure. He pushes him. Now the Kranwagens are starting to take that approach towards the 3-4 line through the city.
Yeah, this is a normal choice because now they're trying to do something like Piotr was doing in his E5. They will try to use their massive cooldown on a 3-line here and play against Kazna from there. But Kazna has Emil and they have Kranwagen of their own. So I'm not really certain how much benefit will this move have, but we will see, because they do need to do something to pressure Kazna out.
So they have to be careful with Overus in this position though, and there is an Emil backing up Ratalicek backing up Diplomat, excuse me, in his Grand Wagon as well. And Tomasek trying to clear the bushes, but there's nobody there.
There was a really bad judgment there by eSuba, where their player might be. They're a bit lured by their own positions in these bushes. Oh my god, Tomaszek, you are spotted all the time, mate! You didn't fade!
Nice clipping there from Stefan. Tomasek trying to find the bushes. He found the wrong ones. There was no tanks in that one. He goes down towards Stefan. Overus now taking some more damage. And once the tanks get spotted out for eSuba, this will be an easy pickup for Haiba.
It does look like eSuba actually needs quite a lot of work on Murovanka to do in the future, because their performance on Cliff was outstanding, but here they just look like sitting ducks.
Yeah, very, very questionable stuff here, but they're still going to try. They're still going to try and make a difference. Froley's now relocating as well towards the eastern side, but already 2k damage, 2k HP down. It doesn't promise much improvement in the future unless they can finally find Haiba. Diplomat takes a big connection there though on towards his third. Good stuff from Pertelicek in his Grand Wagon, but they need a lot more than this to turn the round into their favor.
You can see that eSuba really doesn't have a key to unlock Kazna at the moment. I was just checking some stats, and interesting part about Murovanka here is Kazna actually has 100% win ratio so far on Murovanka, while eSuba played only one game. One game, yes, and they won it, but that's only one game played.
Another two big connections on to Overus here, who's now down to 423. A big ricochet off of that turret, but really weird that eSuba did not try to find at least the guy that was in the bushes. They are now going to start with the cap with Froley, but they still haven't found Haiba.
Yeah, it's really strange that they actually did not even guess that there is someone there. I mean, they're getting spotted in this red line angle. It's quite logical that one of the spotters will be dead ahead of them in some bush. I mean, it's nice spotting damage here for Haiba, and a lot of advantage in HP for Kazna, 2.5k there, plus the light tank. And Kazna can line up and really easily wipe them out at the moment, honestly, because they have nothing to do with them. Even once they push, Combat and Andrew will not be a big part of this game.
Nice shot there from Diplomat on towards Jukets in his Grand Wagon. So far, so good for Kazna crew. They're up so much HP though. It's 3,000 at this point, and they have the extra gun. Overus is low, constantly spotted. Is there a chance here for eSuba?
Only Kazna makes a big misplay, but all Kazna needs to do is check with theirs. Is there anyone there on upper lines, like by peeking? If he is spotted, they will know that eSuba is split. They need to push a Grand Wagon, push one guy down to spot, and that's about that. Froley will have to run for his life, but he will be sniped.
Haiba's going towards Overus now, gets spotted out though, but so does Froley, who has to back off. Haiba will win the 1v1 here as expected, as Piotr and Vetso are bouncing onto Pertelicek, who gets quickly removed. So 2 tanks down, and more to follow here, as now Vetso, yes, he drops low in the Emil, but it's just the tier 9. And Vetso actually gets Jukets at the same time, so there's just 3 tanks left standing here for eSuba.
Combat is pressing on theirs. He does have an HP advantage there, but it doesn't really matter at the moment. There is only 3 guns alive there for eSuba. Stefan will pick up Froley, and I think this will be pretty much it. Andrew, with his HP that's like that from the start, will have to run, reload, and he'll be caught eventually.
Where eSuba looked so good on Cliff, Kazna crew looked rather dominant on Murovanka themselves. A lot of work here to do for eSuba. This map is not theirs just yet, as Piotr and Diplomat seem to be closing in for the final kills here. Piotr onto Andrew, Diplomat onto Combat. Piotr doesn't kill Andrew though. 7 HP left, coming in for the ram here to close out the round. Andrew trying to run away, but there is no escape as Piotr finishes it off, and 2-2. So both teams winning a map here.
Yes, it's rather amazing that eSuba cleared the cliff so far. I would rather say when the game started, maybe it would be 1-1 games, but this works, of course, as well. And we will soon go, after we see stats and everything, on Mines, which I think will be the breaking map.
Mines, gonna be a very good map for both these teams, I think.
I think for Kazna.
I'd say 1-1, because eSuba slow play on defense, I think they can hold.
Yeah, we will see. I'm interested to see, will they let Diplomat play RT on Mines?
And by the way, about this round, I'm like 99% sure that Stefan did an absolute
With those
amount of
rotational
damage.
positions, yeah, I think he did like at least 3 full clips.
I think he did 4K.
4K, okay, let's see.
Somewhere around there. Somewhere.
Wow, that kid. Well, that's a nice guess, man.
Well, I thought around 4K could be like 3 point. But like you said, 3 full clips would result into 3.6. So somewhere around 4K, because he got a lot of shots onto Overus's turret as well. Some connected, some didn't. 3 shots onto the RU, 3 shots onto Andrew, then cleaned up Froley as well. So yeah, great stuff all around from Stefan in this round, doing a significant amount of damage. And a lot of players from eSuba, yeah.
I think it was just a big misplay because they didn't guess where the spotter is. Tomasek went on completely wrong side of the map. Then he didn't even realize he's perma-spotted.
I still don't
He really
understand
died badly.
why they don't just do what they did with the Kranwagens, but have like one more Batcha there, for example, and as soon as the Batcha gets spotted, just run with the route through those bushes, because everybody seems to park them close to K-line now. And when you get spotted there, it's pretty much always K-line. K-line bushes are around there, where the RU doesn't just go full speed, tries to spot, and 2 Batchas just clip out and kill them.
This is what I was thinking they will do from the start.
And it would have worked.
Yes, because that would be exchange tier 8 for tier 10, and then they would have
Tier
the
9.
Tier 9, of course, but they would have control of the lower side of the map there. And Kazna would be forced to rotate with Emil and Kranwagen, which is not the best. TVP also not the best for that kind of play. But this way, you chose to play slow, it really costed you now. That's about that. Kazna actually camped out really well, and by not guessing their positions, you will have to go back to studying how Murovanka actually works.
They'll have to go back to studying how Murovanka works. Mojo, I look at the maps here.
Yes, you can see the new graphics now, guys. Cliff won in attack by Suba, and defense Kazna winning both sides of Murovanka. And now we have Mines. Mines, that is a map that's been a bit more played by Kazna. Kazna also has better statistics. Theoretically, should have more experience, but as we've seen so far, that doesn't mean so much.
It doesn't mean so much. Exactly. That's just for the new viewers tuning in after Mayans. We have Ghostan and Prokhorovka as the tiebreaker map for the series today. 2-2. It is what it is. We're here now. Kazna crew on Mayans. You say they have the experience. I don't know. I still think on the defensive side, eSuba will overcome the struggles that are perhaps be brought by Kazna crew. But on the attack, I'd give it to the defense to Kazna. So 1-1 map.
So you think everyone will pick up defenses?
Yep, I think both teams will pick up defense.
Well, let's see.
Mouse. Okay. Kazna back with the Ice 4 Mojo, if you remember from last time.
It's Kazna playing offense with Ice 4 and Ice 7. 2, let's say, TVP Skoda and a TVP, and 3 Batchats. No artillery piece in this attack. eSuba playing with M40 RT and the Mouse. We know how Mouse is played there. Grille as a backup and 4 Batchats. We need to see, will they be able to actually boost anyone without losing anything of those Batchats?
Combat should be doing that one.
Like that's the first step. And after that, we need to see the plays of Kazna.
We need to see how this IS-4 works out again for Kazna crew, but we're all even right now, moving into our next map, which is going to be Mines.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village, and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
Kazna crew versus eSuba, currently 2-2 after both teams picking up the first and the second map. And now Kazna on the attack, eSuba on the defense, Mojo.
Well, about combat climbing, it's not gonna happen, mate. Not in this game, at least.
Feels bad, man.
Considering he's playing artillery.
Who else did we see this be done from? I think it was Kazna crew even that did exactly the same thing.
And let's see. Froley is actually climbing up there. So far, he's safe, I would say.
He's just behind the rock.
Yeah, he just made it. There is no one who can do the connection.
Ooh, but Ardi is aiming onto Piotr. Ooh, Piotr, be careful, friend. He got spotted out again. We can see here there is no safe zone for combat.
This is a fairly good position used by many teams on K4 because you get a different kind of angles. You can shoot even the people climbing on a zero line. You can even decap, two cap if you want. But the main thing is you can control a bit of the hill and you can shoot toward the zero line. With that RT, you've already seen some teams actually doing a one-shot on some of the mediums climbing.
Yeah, Overus in that mouse, possibly with those binos to spot a climb coming out. Diplomat here in the middle. There's just proxy spotting Overus right now. So far, so good for Kazna crew and eSuba. eSuba not bringing out any new positions, Mojoy. Just standard all around.
Yeah, but they can just play a bit more brave because Kazna does not have an artillery piece. So they cannot really harm the mouse. Like, you can position RT behind some houses, you can shoot him, chase him away, but Kazna doesn't have any means to do that. They will actually have to do it on foot. And look at the connection!
Hit from Combat in that RTPs onto Haiba. I think that was the thing that Gohard didn't have last time. I think it was them where Kazna crew with the IS-4 played against the tank in the 9-0 line. But Combat, so much damage onto that IS-4, forcing him to use one of his repair kits as well. And let's just say, I don't think he's going to peek that corner again.
No, and Overus really already did his purpose, but the sole purpose of that IS-4 is to try to chase away that mouse so someone could climb the zero line, because that is the way for Kazna to dominate them. At the moment, eSuba, well, with their really slow playstyle, looks good on this.
Yeah, eSuba taking a small advantage here by damaging Haiba. See Froley here just behind the rock. Nexus? Vetso. No, is it Nexus? Yes, it is Nexus. Confused between the Skoda and the TVP, but it is Nexus here in a standard TVP position. You climb, you can watch the 1-2 line, you can watch for anybody pushing on it as well, get shots. So not really an option there for Pratelicek to get any more forward than he currently is.
It's a strange rotation here. Nexus is usually playing a Bachat for Kazna, while Stefan is playing a TVP.
Yeah, it's questionable now. Stefan here, do keep a look out for his loadout. It is medkit, coffee, and a repair kit. Now the question is, okay, so when do you pick fire extinguisher? When do you pick medkit? In this case, when you climb onto the zero line, the thing that you're peeking with every single time is your cupola, which results in
you will get shot and you will get those nasty situations.
Gunner.
We've been talking a lot of times. You can lose the crew members.
It's always the gunner, man.
Yeah.
Always. It's so annoying. Like, you climb there, you lose your gunner. You don't have a medkit. Well, somebody else wants to climb zero line, boys?
This is something we've been saying a lot of times, that players should start picking up medkits. Yes, fire extinguisher is the safer way to play, but the potential gambling, of course, I think it's mainly beneficial more if you have a medkit.
But look already, Diplomat pushing forwards. Haiba takes another connection, loses his second repair, can get ammo racked again. Diplomat will get behind the rock here, but so far he really can't do anything from an Combat. Is lining up the shot against Haiba. If Haiba backs off too far, he will be able to get connected. Maybe splash?
Yeah, but Haiba cannot do pretty much anything from there. He cannot really cap, because the moment he touches the cap, RT will just splash him to death if needed. And he does not have any repair kits left there anymore. So only thing he can do is maybe occasionally peek and see where the mouse is. Froley took some small damage here, and there is rather, yes, aggressive approach there by Diplo. But so far, we can say eSuba is doing well.
eSuba is holding out very, very well indeed. Overus in that mouse, full HP against Haiba, just on 1,000 under pressure of RD the entire time. Now what is Kazna going to do? Haiba, another non-connection on towards that third. Good angling there from Overus. And it's like the battle of who's going to bounce less, boys.
I think Overus should just load HE and start spamming, man. Mouse at least he has a big load that he should have enough of that. There is a connection on Overus here, but there we go. I think that was actually an HE shell.
HE shell for 207 on towards Haiba. If he can keep angling well in that third, IS-4 obviously not the greatest gun, as I say that. Haiba, another big one coming out. 239 now with HE. Depending on the rolls, he'll need 1 or 2 more to complete it.
This is good because Overus is forced to go to avoid shells from Haiba, and he does not have his Binos on.
Loader dead and no repair medkit available. Durst taking 681 from Andrew, taking 387 from Tomaszek. And this was a play, I guess, inspired by the fact Haiba is taking so much damage. Stefan is trying to climb the zero line. In the meantime, the connection comes out 193 only because of H3 ammunition as Durst now probably with heat starts to clip out on towards Overus. He needs to get safe here. Jukets gets spotted out as well. He's running, he takes damage. Overus takes a ton of damage here from Durst.
Jukets also, let's not forget that. So Kazna is actually slowly pressuring eSuba, and the main thing is, yes, they sacrificed so much HP there, but Stefan is up on a hill, and entire play is now on him. He will be able to actually finish Mouse off.
He did finish off the Mouse, not before taking 513, though, but 3 minutes, 27 seconds left here for Kazna crew, and it's not looking too shabby for them.
Yes, they do have some 500 advantage here, and they have a tank more. Yes, Haiba is pretty much crippled there, but they can pressure eSuba, and if needed, just leave Haiba to cap if they can take out Arty of equation.
See here, Andrew just looking around. He has to be careful because Stefan could spot him out at any moment in time, and then he will take a lot of connections on towards him because he already aiming towards that bush where Stefan could peek up. Oh, he needs to be careful. Froley getting spotted out again as well. Stefan knows there is already available here for eSuba and needs to play it safe.
It's going to be pretty much all about how it envelops here, because Kazna needs Stefan functional there so they can win the game.
I don't know about this cap though. Piotr taking so much. 1,226. He goes down towards Tomaszek. What a mistake from Piotr, but Andrew is now taking a lot of damage in his gorilla. 755 to be exact, but it's not enough. Stefan actually crossed over. Yes, the capture is on, but is it going to be enough? Jukets gets tracked by Stefan, goes down towards Stefan. Nice play there from him, but now Froley is coming down towards Haiba, and I don't think there's anybody that's capable of stopping him. Haiba doesn't even connect the shot. Froley is going to continue here, and Haiba, I think he's in trouble as well, and eSuba are looking good.
Whoa, mighty Bachat armor again. Froley bouncing a shell here, and he will be one-on-one with Haiba. Diplomat on one shot, just shot by Grille there. Stefan is in reload, he cannot help neither of them. Nexus is on another side of the map there, combined with Diplomat. I don't think Kazna can actually recover from this one.
There seems to be no recovery for Kazna indeed, as Froley is safe, and there's still Protelic full HP into the 1-2 line. Andrew has been a thorn in their side the entire time. Yes, Diplomat gets the connection on towards Tomaszek, but it's just not enough, is it?
It was a risky play by Kazna, but at the end they had too much position covered. I mean, Vetso is still on the island in a really, really far away position, while they had theirs on really low HP in houses and Piotr suiciding there. It just cannot pay off like that.
Well, they have 1 minute and 6 seconds. If now Nexus gets on towards the cap and Stefan joins, there is time to cap it out, but that would rely onto Vetso killing Protelic one-on-one, which I don't think is an option, and Protelic already smells out the play coming out here from Kazna crew, and he's pushing forwards. He wants to take down Vetso. All he has to do is keep running down the 1-2 line. There we go. Protelic doesn't even need to chase at this point.
Oh, this is greedy play, man. He's gonna suicide.
Protelic, there's no need to chase Haiba. Next is clipping into the side. It's not over.
Wow, this is such a misplay and probably the cause they will lose the round, because Protelic just suicided live on camera.
Protelic, this was such a mistake from you, my friend. He picks out, he gets Vetso though! Combat goes down towards Stefan, and with 20 seconds left, Nexus will be able to reload. Protelic, he needs to run. He already made the misplay by going against Vetso. He's on the move, he's on the run, just behind the rock. Nexus is coming, 9 seconds left for Protelic to win this round. Stefan's lining up the shot from the 5 line. Can he survive? 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, he needs to survive. Nexus picks out, he gets it! Kazna crew just about win the round. And Protelic, my friend, that was...
Wow! Man, I haven't seen an ending of a game in a while like this. This was like Wild Wild West. Protelic had blood in his eyes. He wanted to kill instead of win the game, man.
You know what the #1 global highlight was, I think, this week or last week? Nuclear in a Tier 9 Batchat, 3v1, I think, running down the 1-2 line. What did Protelic have to do?
Run, boy, run. Never turn back.
Why? Why did there is honestly there is no excuse for the play he made. All he has to do is to continue running down 1-2.
I mean, he was playing against tier 9 Skoda. Skoda fired one shot. He would not have enough, even if he caught up with him, he would not have enough ammo to
And
deal
I don't
with
think
him.
Nexus would get back in time either.
No one would. No one would. He was completely safe. Once they abandoned any cap idea, he was completely safe if he just kept running.
There we see Nexus and Stefan, massive amount of damage for their team. Protelicek with a nice amount of damage as well, but
That was a big sellout, man. There is no other word to explain it. Nexus over 4k damage here. This is another game with high damage for Kazna players like that. Stefan 3.6. Really nice games that he is actually doing all the time. But it's nothing unusual there. Andrew, well, finally a decent game for him. Almost 3k
well,
there.
Mojo, at least I know the #1 highlight for this week.
Yeah, I think this will definitely count in.
You know, you gotta say as it is, and Protelicek, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Obviously, Nexus did very well to get this kill, but you have to take into account that it was a little bit of a mistake.
What a mistake to make. Well, it was a bit of a mistake. It was also a nice jump shot by Nexus there, who landed right where it was when it was needed for Kazna the most. Now Kazna will go on defensive side on mines, and they might actually pull a 2-0 game. There is a possibility for this, especially after a sellout like this.
This is this would have been a 1-0 for eSuba.
Yeah, I already thought that eSuba actually won this.
It was over, technically speaking. All Protelicek had to do was just dash down 1-2. I mean, Vetsu in the squad, I would probably not catch him. Nexus might maybe get a clip if he gets there on time, but I don't think Vetsu would ever, because Vetsu dropped off, so he'd had to pick up speed, drive up the slope. I don't think there's a potential there for Kazna to get it if Protelicek kept running.
It was really risky play by Kazna entire game. Entire game was really super risky, and even with Vetsu there on island, they simply had nothing to stop Protelicek with. Like, Mish Koda cannot play against tier 10 budget.
Well, Mojo, I don't know what to say.
Well, next game. And we can go on lineups, I guess.
Well, that's the next game indeed. We can talk about that then. Now, second round on mines. Any surprises, Mojo?
Well, Kazna in defense here, playing with mouse. We've seen Haiba play it in a last game and catching off Zafarchik, if I remember correctly, while he was climbing up on that really mounting goal position. I7 also, they can put him next to the houses there, and he can angle up and cover tanks like TVP, Grille, 2 Bachats. eSuba playing with Lorraine, Arti, and rather mobile setup. We've usually seen following up on that with 1-1-3 heavy tank and TVPs and Bachats. So rather standard lineup by eSuba. Yes, they are able to break Kazna's camp with this, but it does need a lot of things to happen for that.
Needs a lot of time as well, and they're going to be kicking themselves about that last round, just like we are as well. And it is a factor that plays into the back of your mind. We need to wonder what kind of mindset these players come into with this round, especially if there was some problems on TeamSpeak after that one.
Man, always Protelicek there in those decisive rounds at the end, in one role or the other.
Sometimes the hero, sometimes the villain. Let's find out if he can be the hero in the next round on mines. Currently 3-2 in favor of Kazna crew, who are defending eSuba on the offense here.
Diplomat again on Arti, man.
Good choice from Kazna crew, I'd say. Walla stepping into the lineup.
Wow, they have like breaks every one game.
Can I get a Walla for Walla stepping into the lineup here?
And look at Stefan's aggressive play there. This is something Kazna has done several times already, sending a TVP there in a village alone, trying to catch off if someone is climbing up from the Bachats from the start of the game on B8 line.
The Bachats from eSuba just taking the hill, Diplomat about reloaded, but Stefan catches nothing as Walla will be playing here in his IS-7, trying to spot out anything. He gets spotted in return. Is he trying to make a climb here?
Okay, this is an interesting position if Walla actually stays there. I'm going to be very interesting to see how it looks in the future. So he's just peeking with top of the turret, but if he climbs up, it's gonna be rather magnificent if he actually makes it work.
Well, we'll have to see it.
I mean, his lower plate is completely open if someone pushes like this.
Yeah, it is very
It's like
open.
the first thing they will see, man, shooting from the below.
But they will have already cover. And they will have Stefan cover.
And our cover is Vale when he's speaking like this. He can get shot for free, only Stefan can cover him.
Well, that Stefan is more than enough, okay?
He has a lot of guns there. Well, Durs is spotting the island side 1-2 water line for Kazna. So he's pretty much solo there, covered by Piotr in the position where you usually see heavy tanks on H4, but we know it can be played by Bachats. Also, Kazna chose this game not to climb anyone on a mountain from the start or the medium part of the game. They're more positioned toward the village side. The only risky thing I can see here is Vale, but even Haiba is close there with Mouse, and they are covered by Nexus in Grille and artillery piece. So let's see, because there is a lot of tanks lining up there for eSuba, they might actually do a push.
Yeah, Overus is now coming forward, supported by 3 bad shots. Froli, Jukets, and Pratelicek. Overus here. What can he see of the IS-7 is the question. Haiba's now pushing forwards with his Mouse as well. Here are the bad shots coming in. Vale forced to drop off. They need to be careful because there is Stefan there. There is Nexus there
Stefan
as well.
reload.
Stefan is on reload indeed. Nexus has not fired yet so far. Diplomat has a shell available as well. Need to be careful not to overextend here. Froli is going to back off smartly, so I think. And a lot of misses coming out even on that bad
This
shot.
was the best play that eSuba could do, because being greedy here would just bring them the defeat. Really quick defeat, I would say even. Maybe with 1 or 2 Bachats flanking, they would be able to catch a TVP, but they still don't know the positions of other Bachats of Kazna, so they gave up on that idea. Overall, they did some damage and they pulled away. Still, Kazna bought some time for them.
A lot of time even. 3 minutes at this point in time. Froli, Jukets, and Pratelicek now rotating back towards 1-2, realizing that Kazna also will see this as an option eSuba might go for. Okay, we get spotted on this side. Maybe they'll rush the other side now.
But this is what I was thinking, like they should drive that side and just return and push here again. But I believe the Kazna is prepared for something like that, because look at the position of the tanks. They didn't really give up on this. And Arti might actually connect on Overus here.
Does he have an angle? He fires. Does he connect?
Oof.
No, just about hits the slope. Now, if a Bachelor gets to D0, I do think they can shoot the IS-7 in the side. I'm fairly certain there will be an angle, but getting across is the issue.
It would be super cool for Kazna if they could actually climb a Bachat up on a mountain, but I believe that's far too late for that. I think eSuba is actually doing the push now.
eSuba is doing the push. Froli is going to push over towards the house, and that's a good play, actually. Chukats now peeking out as well. Vale is taking so much. Vale goes down. Now Stefan and Haiba trying to support. Haiba needs to back off as Jukats takes a big shot there from the RTPs, and Froli is really stuck behind that house.
Froli has to stay there for a reload. Haiba is doing his job as a meat shield for the rest of his team. I don't think they counted the losing Vale so much, but Kazna is counter-attacking on a hill. They saw the opening.
I think this is a mistake from Kazna crew coming out. Piotr just about peaks and takes 1 shot of damage, 2 shots of damage, even 3 coming in. I really don't think this counterplay was a good idea. It could cost them very, very much. Tomasek and Andrew were still covering the hill. Jukets is now coming over there as well. And Haiba taking so much damage over there. I don't know. I still don't say this round is in favor of Kazna crew right now.
Still 5 minutes. Yes, Kazna has a gun down, but has some HP advantage here, almost 900 here. And Froli is still stuck behind that rock. Let's not forget that. And even Froli and Jukets both, never mind Froli, Jukets is on 1 shot.
Froli is no longer with us as Diplomat from the back line connect onto him. Piotr takes another connection in his batch shadow, 398 on towards him. Jukets not connecting over there either. Durs will now retake the 1-2 line. Correct decision there to make. Pratelicek, is he trying to cross over? Because if he can get to E9, E0, then I think he will get a good angle on towards Haiba.
Haiba is slowly moving the corpse of Vale back, and he will use him as a shield now, I believe. And
Don't forget, Mojo, like a lot of the HP here is still on Haiba on the mouse, which can be negated if they make correct plays.
Overus is losing HP here. And don't forget, Kazna, with playing aggressive here, actually cut off the 0 line from eSuba, so they cannot climb and get elevated position. With this light setup, as they have it, they actually have to break through somewhere. They have to push Kazna, but Kazna has a good crossfire wherever eSuba goes. That's the problem at the moment.
Kazna indeed. Overus here needs to be careful as well, because Diplomat at any moment in time might come from above. Just about reloaded, but Stefan now backing off. Haiba now backing off as well. This is something I like. Wasting a lot of time, taking a lot of HP, and now falling back all the way. eSuba will take time to clear out the positions. And they will make time to make their final move. But Bartelicek is going for the climb here. He gets spotted out, and he doesn't make it.
Oh boy.
If he made that, that would have been vital. He
That
could
would
have
be
made
pretty
it.
much a game changer here for eSuba, maybe, again. But like this, he lost speed. Yukits is on one shot. Yukits climbing up. I don't know. That would not be the wisest of them choices because he can get connected by anyone while
But
doing
let's
it.
just say it. Nobody will expect a one-shot Batshot to go up.
Yes. There is a reason for that because he will probably just stay dead on the first part. Pratelicek, attempt number 2 of this climb. We've seen numerous fails on this climb in previous season, but now it's considered a child's play.
Yep, there we go. Nice form. Gets a connection, gets 2 connections even from the tanks from Kazna crew. Minus 802
His turret is
HP.
dead.
He's not going to repair that one. Nexus is now pushing up as well. Perhaps trying to get a secondary angle on towards Pratelicek, who does now get unspotted.
2 minutes 40 seconds, 2.4k advantage for Kazna.
2.4k HP advantage indeed for Kazna crew, but there's still potential here. Stefan takes the connection from the TVP, from the backline, from Andrew. Good stuff there, but eSuba needs so much more in this round.
Well, they will rather need a miracle here because, yes, they have a lot of HP on Haiba there, but Haiba is there to make a shield for his team. By the majority of HP for eSuba is on tanks like Tomaszek playing a TVP. That's a paper armor in a big box.
Pratelicek spots out the mouse here. He does not have an angle towards him currently. And with 1 minute 56 seconds, there needs to be the play from eSuba, but it now end 15 seconds, so they won't have any time.
I mean, by the time the Pratelicek ends up this clip, it's really questionable how much time will he even have for the other one. And he
Peaks.
spotted here and taking damage from Stefan, was waiting for this.
2 shots coming out from Stefan on towards Pratelicek. He takes 1 in return, only 2 actually, as he goes down to a 1 shot. But Tomaszek trades just about even in that one as well. And now Haiba is starting to take a lot of damage because Andrew pushed behind him. But Andrew gets connected himself by the gorilla. Now the push comes in here from eSuba, but it is too late, I think.
This is almost 60 seconds here left. No HP on eSuba side. Yes, they have some guns. And there you go. Tomaszek taking a beating there while approaching.
Ooh, Overus is now getting pushed on by Call Me Piotr, and Piotr actually gets the kill. Overus goes down. Andrew goes down. Piotr goes down in return though, but with 4 tanks left standing for Kazna crew and a lot of HP left, they're gonna bring themselves to match point.
Now, there's is on 100% of HP on another side of the map here. Yes, they do have some time to cap, but they will need a third guy, and all of them have no HP left whatsoever to cover that cap.
None of them have any HP. Tomaszek is now coming as the final man on towards this cap. If Komar can get a connection onto Nexus, not enough, as Stefan already gets the reset, gets the kill. That will be the end of this strategy from eSuba. And with 16 seconds left, Kazna crew can watch and enjoy as the counter this time takes in their favor towards 0-0. And no shenanigans from any TVPs will win this round for them.
No, this is indeed a victory for Kazna. Now, we've already said before, if Pratelicek played out the last round as he was supposed to, this would be a 3-3 game, and we would go into the next map, which is Ghost Town, a big shootout map, not knowing who will go out. But Kazna at the moment has a match point, and it doesn't really look good for eSuba. I mean, they would have to pull out quite a miracle on Ghost Town, which they don't play that well, and Kazna should have quite some experience because they were beaten so much times in last season there. They should know all the lessons.
Yeah, eSuba here just so much time. They go Val in the end, but at that point you see how much time they lost. And then Kazna crew doing the sensible thing after going aggressive and wasting all this time. It is a good play to go back. and just go back to your passive positions. You wasted 5-6 minutes. Congratulations, we're still even.
Yeah, Kazna played out rather aggressive towards Village here. That was nice play, balancing it out with Mouse, having a TVP covering an I7. eSuba caught them a bit there in a rotation when Stefan was not there, so they took Vale out more or less for free, but it wasn't really for free. They did lose some HP on crucial tanks like Pachas that need for rotation, and they still didn't do anything to Haiba. Haiba was constantly monitoring that area, denying them any kind of elevation. So, good game for Kazna. Let's see what they did.
Good game for Kazna. Let's see the top here. It's actually Haiba and the Mouse. It's not that much damage as you might think it is. 2.4 only. I mean, only. He's the top damage leader, but it's not like around the likes of Nexus 4K, Stefan 3.6 from the last round.
Mouse best tank in game. I need to see effect here. He also has 2.6k damage blocked by armor, unlike Vale.
But
who
look
blocked
at his assistance.
nothing.
That's more important, Mojo. Did you see? He had 4.1k assistance, damage with spotting or tracking, one of those two.
That is actually indeed a fact.
He has 4.1k assistance. That implies that he either spotted 4.1k worth of damage for his teammates. I did see Stefan clipping overs from behind a bush, not getting spotted, which does count as assistance, obviously, because if you can't spot it for yourself, the person who spots it gets the assisting damage.
So Haiba gets a cookie for being most useful player in this game.
Mouse Scout.
Mouse scout slash whatever. Well, Kazna's solid tactic in defense here. Obviously, eSuba with this light setup had no answer for it. They didn't know how to deal with it. They were pretty much confused.
Let's hope how they know how to deal with Ghost Town.
Let's see, because 2-0 games are nothing new, especially for this match.
Nope, no surprise for Ghost Town, but you said it can be a brawling map, and I think Kazna has the advantage that we've seen in a lot of rounds. And also in the ones they've won, they have some very standout performances from one or two guys, which carry them over that boundary, especially in that Mines round. Even though Moravanka, the likes of Stefan and such, did put out massive amount of damages, which we don't see that often from eSuba, like those really top-level plays, if you know what I mean. Like they play very well as a whole, but Kazna has those, I think, those 2-3 players.
Yes, Kazna had several guys now that did about 4,000 damage, so that kind of really helped out. But of course, they had good positioning and backing up from the rest of the team, so they could actually do it.
Of course.
So you put a good, reliable gun like, I don't know, TVP in Stefan's hands, and yes, you get results, but also the remainder of the team is doing the job of soaking up damage so they could do it. So I believe the lineups are ready, so we should see them.
Yep, let's take a look and see for Ghost Town. Anything out of the ordinary here? Udes? Nope. That's not
Udes
really
is pretty much a standard
surprising.
at the moment now. In defense side for eSuba, playing also with E100, Kranwagen and 103. This is a nice setup by eSuba. Here, Kazna, on the other hand, playing with VZ, Tier 9 Chinese and I7, so they have a pressure for the cap if they want. But also they have an Emil2. We've seen an attempt from them against Ding when they put an Emil2 in that cap. Also, it didn't work out against Udes at all. And
say that much.
yeah, I mean, Durs was playing that much, I remember, and he was constantly sniped.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see if the trend continues here, where teams win their map. If it is, then it will be eSuba to make it 4-4, which would be a surprise at this point in time. But can they do it, Mojo? That is the question.
Can eSuba come back 2 games? The lineup they have at the moment is good for defense. So on that regard, I really have no bad remarks. But Kazna, yeah, of course they can win the round, man. Like we've seen also the weakness of this lineup eSuba has, if it is really well pressed through the center, it's really hard to answer if you don't have a brilliant focus fire in that moment.
I want to give it to eSuba. We're going to have to find out as Kazna Crew versus eSuba is about to continue here on Ghost Town.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
Well, the hardest battles will have to be fought in 1 or 2 minutes. Like I said, about to continue doesn't mean right now. So that was just a meme, you know, a meme.
Well, we had to wait for some restart of one certain computer that is crucial for our plays here. But bear with us. We will.
Vortex Pink Pony Simulator.
Yes, he should not play Barbies in this crucial moment
Definitely
when there is a match
Tetris.
point.
It's best to uninstall those things.
He's actually buying time for eSuba, I know that. He's a great eSuba fan, so he's like, thumbs up, guys. I'm up with you.
Okay, Mojo. But now, looking at this lineup from eSuba, I think it's very similar to what Ding brought. And we saw Ding get countered by... Was it Utopia? Yeah, it was Utopia that countered them. Utopia actually countered Ding, if you remember, on Ghost. And Gohard tried it as well, so we have seen weaknesses to this lineup.
Yes, Utopia pressed really hard through the center, as we mentioned already, but...
and Gohard pressed very hard on the right side. And without bad timings, they would have won that round.
Yes, but actually Ding was kind of ready for that. They didn't want to fall for the same thing another time.
But they did.
They actually made a good crossfire. They didn't have initial damage taken, but they lost Udes really fast. Udes is a brilliant sniping tank. It's a fun, fast vehicle, but it does take 2 seconds to be able to drive anywhere.
Is it 2 seconds?
2 seconds.
Is it 2 seconds on the Udes? Because it's
Yes.
1.4 on the tier 10.
No, 2 seconds on Udes.
Okay.
So it's like 2 seconds to go up in shooting position and in that siege mode and off from it. So when you're really hard pressed like that, I mean, even if you know you're going to get spotted, by the time you do get spotted, you just get shot twice and you are dead. 2-3 times and that's it. He has 1k HP. That's nothing in tier 10.
No, especially because of the overmatch mechanics where Udes in a tier 10 game won't bounce very much, obviously.
It doesn't bounce in tier 8 games. I mean,
Yeah,
his
of
armor
course
is not
not.
that brilliant like in tier 10s.
Even in tier 10s, if you get overmatch, it goes through. You know, the 3 times pan caliber rule.
But we've seen some of the games where the STRVs,
Yeah,
the
it's
tier
because
10s
Batchat's
one,
shooting at it.
were insanely bouncing, especially the APCR rounds.
Because
But
Batchat
heat
doesn't-
shells, not so much.
Because Batchat doesn't overmatch.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the gun big enough.
Yeah. But he still has that commander areas that
All
you can
Russian
shoot.
guns do, though.
Russians, of course. But here, eSuba has some time to recover a bit. At least they're on defense here on Ghost Town, so it
Yeah, they
should
give
give
them
them
extra
some.
time to talk about it.
It gives them some opportunity. We've noticed before the game started today, in previous season, when the season opened, we had like 75 to 80% attack win ratio when attackers were winning so much, because the meta was like that. But in this season, it started with like 50% and it's going toward defenders all the time now. It's already on 55,
how it goes,
45.
So every season, once the meta gets defined and teams learn how to counter the strategies that are out on the market available, then it shifts back towards the defense.
Yes, but in this season, it shifted back to defense rather fast, man.
Because teams have a lot of matches, so they have to adapt quickly.
Also, they have a lot of knowledge from the previous season.
Indeed, there is that, but let's focus on the game now. Kazna crew 4-2 up over eSuba. And eSuba is going to have to hold on here on the defense as Kazna crew try to close it out on the attack.
Interesting, eSuba positioning a lot of autoloaders right straight on the middle here together with E100. This is not a normal opening, you would say, but they are playing more toward the 2 cap, while only 113 and Udes are trying to position to deal with 1 cap.
Are they trying to counter possibly this middle crossing here from Kazna crew? If Kazna crew keeps
I think
going,
they are. This is
they
exactly
could be
that.
in trouble. Overus, Bratelicek and Andrew are going to be ready there. Haiba is going to be the first. Piotr is going to peek out with his IS-7. Let's see how much damage he takes. Only 1 shot so far. So a lot of damage missed out here from the boys from eSuba. And Kazna crew is going to continue to push. Jukets could be in trouble in his 1-1-3 if they find him, but he seems to be okay so far. As I say that, Diplomat and Nexus find him, start clipping. Jukets going to be the first target down here for eSuba. 1 more shot. Haiba is the one to close it up. But in the meantime, they have lost Piotr, but Bratelicek is taking so much in return as well. His 50B goes down towards Stefan in the bad shot, and it's falling apart here for eSuba. 2 tier 10s down. They need to take down these tanks from Kazna crew as quickly as they can.
Why on earth did Bratelicek go there in front of E100 with only 1 shell to go? I cannot possibly fathom. I mean, he is a tank who is supposed to reload and go and flank together with other 50Bs, not going scouting in a first line.
Andrew just completely oblivious to the fact Nexus and Diplomat were still there, and his 50B is about to fall as well. He goes down, and that wasn't necessary whatsoever. And now Overus not very much better as he loses his friend in the 50B, he loses his tank in return.
Well, there is nothing Overus actually could have done here because he's pretty much alone. The throws are really real. eSuba really threw it here for no reason whatsoever. Yes, they lost Yukets on the other side. And okay, that's a tank less, but they still had positions. They could have pushed as a team. Kep is pressured, but it doesn't really matter because Kazna has every possible advantage you want.
7 seconds left here just on the cap, and they're behind houses. I don't think eSuba's going to get back to this one. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left here. The HP was evening. Can he get the reset? No, he can't, and it will be Kazna crew 5-2 to close out the round. But again, eSuba on the defense.
That was rather bad planning there, leaving 1-1-3 in such position alone.
The 50Bs didn't peek in time. Haiba just crossed over
Yeah, they just
before
crossed
anybody
for free.
was there.
There was no spot. There was no one available to tell them they're starting to cross now.